Hello and what is up, guys? Rye here and welcome back to some more automation and of course BeamNG.Drive. So in the past I've made supercars, I've made race cars, I've made trucks, but I've never combined the best of a truck with a race car supercar. So today what we're going to be doing is building ourselves a diesel engine powered supercar. This is a Ford GT body based off the mid-2000s Ford GTs. And what we're doing is shoving a turbocharged inline-six diesel-ish engine in automation into this supercar. And then we're going to drive this car in BeamNG.Drive. So we'll do our best to have our engine as close as you can to diesel, because in automation, obviously, you can't do a real diesel engine currently, but we can do our best to make it run and drive like a diesel engine should. So it's going to be a supercar with a diesel engine. Hopefully, it'll be fast, but we'll have to see how it goes. So starting off at the beginning. Now, we'll leave it with partial aluminum for now, because that seems like a reasonable choice. The goal for this is to be like a reasonably affordable supercar, maybe around $150,000, which obviously is a lot of money. But it's going to be around $150,000 or so with a turbocharged 6-cylinder diesel engine. We're going to go for a monocoque chassis. There have been some supercars actually with diesel engines in the past, at least prototypes. Most notably would be the Audi R8 with a diesel engines. But yeah, Dieselgate happened, and yeah, the diesel has been dead ever since. So let's go ahead with a light AHS steel for now. We can go for glued aluminum. You know what, glued aluminum for now, that sounds reasonable. Mid-mounted longitudinal engine. It's going to be, you know, maybe double wishbone front and rear. It's going to be sort of a purpose-built supercar, but it's obviously not trying to break a budget. So 6-cylinder. We could change bodies depending on everything, how it goes. So we're going to go for a 4-valve per cylinder turbo diesel engine. Now, it's not going to be the most realistic turbo diesel engine, but it's going to be, you know, close as we can in automation, as well as being quite efficient and powerful. So we're going to go for a very large, we're going to go for a 6.7 liter turbocharged diesel engine, similar to a Cummins 6BT, a newer one at least. We can go for a 4-valve per cylinder. That's reasonable. I want to make tons of power, so we'll go for 4-valve. We're not going for push rod. We'll give it a VVT all cams. I'll teach you guys a little bit on how to tune the engine to be like a diesel-ish engine, because obviously you can't make it perfect, but we'll try today. Let's go for, we're actually going to go for a newer year. You know, we're going to go for a newer year. So the engine itself, let's go for performance intake. Let's go for 98 octane fuel. Now this is a diesel engine, so it's gonna have a different kind of fuel than a regular engine. So we can go for even probably 100 RON, and just sort of say that that's diesel, because diesel engines need to run at a much higher compression than a traditional gasoline-based engine. We'll give it a big catalytic converter, a 3-way high flow, just a baffled muffler, maybe one straight through muffler. It's gonna be a diesel engine. I want it to be very loud, to be honest. Let's make it up to 4,000 or so RPM. So the goal is around go. So the Cummins, the newest version of the Cummins can have up to about 420 or so horsepower and about just over 1,000 pound-feet of torque, which is obviously an absolute ton of power. 400 horsepower and 796 pound-feet of torque, which is quite reasonable to start off for a 2006 supercar. To put that in perspective, some other cars in 2006, some other supercars had 4, 5, maybe 600 horsepower for the really crazy ones. So this Ford GT body, it looks really good. I haven't used it, I don't think, for a video ever. It's going to be a manual, 6-speed manual. It's going to be a turbo manual. Pretty low top speed, only 300 kilometers an hour. So 6-speed and viscous. Okay, there we go. Let's give it 18-inch wheels. Let's give it magnesium wheels, though. And make the car a little bit wider. Wait. Let's see. Hold on. Look at that thing. It sticks into the chassis. A 6.7 liter engine. An inline 6, at least, is absolutely hilarious for a car of this caliber. We'll give it a fully clad under tray, even though that doesn't actually help us at all. We'll give it a CD player for now. That's fine. Okay, so just to start off, the basics of the car. It weighs 3,700 pounds, which is a little heavy for a supercar, to be honest. So the basics of the car. It looks like it handles decently. 435 horsepower, so an 870 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, or 0 to 100 in 4.1 seconds, which is hilariously quick. So what we're going to do is, I think, design this car. And I'm not too sure what brand it's going to be at. It might be my Maven brand. I haven't made a car for Maven for quite a while. And Maven's like Ford, so it makes sense to go with the Ford GT. So I'm going to design the car. I'm also going to tweak the engineering of the car, because the engineering is not perfect yet. And I'm going to tweak it to be perfect. It's going to be the turbocharged manual all-wheel drive diesel-powered supercar of our dreams. And after we design it in a time-lapse, we're going to hop into BeamNG.Drive and see how this thing drives. So sit back, relax, guys, and of course, I hope you enjoy. And we are starting the build for my 2006 diesel supercar. And I'm just tweaking the engine. I'm tweaking basically everything of the car first, as engine, suspension, etc. I'll go over some more later on. And the front end. So I start off with some more Maven design elements, but I quickly changed that to some of my other brands because I just didn't feel like Maven really fit in that well. It's got this really big stupid grin on the front so far, wrapping around from one side of the other of the car to the other side of the car. And I add some air scoops in the hood area, or is it the hood? Is it the front trunk? I don't actually know. And now I'm just sort of cutting out the front grille section, making it into a few separate pieces because one giant grille looks kind of weird. Adding some body molding to the side, back on the front, and detailing the front with some daytime LED running lights, which looks kind of cool. A bit futuristic for 2006, and I like that about it. Adding these headlamps, they're going to have dual sort of headlamps, one on top of the other, similar to some previous Satyr vehicles, because this is going to be a Satyr branded car. Now, Satyr makes just crazy cars for crazy reasons, and this is going to be another Satyr car. Pretty much finishing the headlights off now. The front grille is pretty much done, adding a door handle to the side and adding some body molding to the side. I want to make it look pretty good. I spent a bit of time on this, and I'll go ahead and probably tweak it later on. The rear end. Satyr has this sort of H-shaped upper fascia of the rear that houses the headlights and the exhaust usually, or the exhaust diffuser, I don't know, whatever is there at the time. We're going to have an exhaust in the middle, and I'm adding these sort of LED lights top and bottom, but I changed it just to some dot lights, which look, I think, worse, but that's kind of the point. You know, Satyr is not supposed to be a beautiful car. Their cars are just crazy in basically every way, and that's why we've got a diesel engine in a supercar. Adding a cool wing we've added, and just detailing out the rear taillights a bit more. The exhausts are placed there now, and finishing the rear diffuser a little bit off. We got some reverse lights down there. We have all the lights all set up, basically adding part of the diffuser, adding a roof bulge, adding a rear intake, and a few tweaks in the front of the car, and changing the paint and the front grille and diffuser. And in front of us is the 2006 Satyr Ravara STD. So finished in front of us is the 2006 Satyr Ravara STD. Now, you might be wondering, why is STD the trim name for the car? Because I can, alright? So STD is the name of my other Satyr vehicle from a while back, and I decided to use this name on my older car because why the heck not? It doesn't mean anything, but it just sounds stupid. You know what? Let's just imagine it says something cool like Satyr Technical Development. You know, that's like a performance kind of trim name. Sure, it's fine, it's fine. Anyways, okay, front end has this sort of U-shape going on where the headlights go down into the side vents, and then that's sort of, actually the side vents are the wrong way. That's not good. I don't want it that way. Alright, I fixed the vents. Let's turn off that. So yeah, this is the Satyr Ravara STD. It is similar design to my previous Satyr cars, which are all newer, but this is an older car. Now the theme, obviously, of this car is a diesel engine. And yeah, boy oh boy, does it have a diesel engine. 450 horsepower, 913 pound-feet of torque, but it still gets a very respectable 21 miles per gallon, which is probably more than you'd get in other 2000 supercars, like the Audi R8 or a Ford GT, as an example. I did use a bit of the Ford GT as an example on the side, so a bit of air intake there and whatnot. We do have a massive retractable wing, which I think looks kind of cool. I actually would have made it taller. I would have liked for it to be taller, but it kind of cuts into the back here, where we have this just plethora of LED lights, which I kind of like. Now, the theme here was, you know, like the first generation Audi R8 had lots of LEDs. It was like one of the first LED cars, as far as I know. So I've tried to incorporate these sort of LED daytime running lights down below. So these lights down here are the daytime running lights for the Audi, or for the car. They look kind of wonky right now, but ignore that, that's fine. And the back end has these sort of LED brake lights, tail lights, and turn signals in the back. So I think it looks pretty cool. Big old dual exhaust out the back. We got our reverse lights down there. But overall, I think the side profile is actually my favorite of this car. The headlights are so far to the side, and you know, all of my Satyr vehicles are ugly. They're all ugly. That's the thing. Like, this car is not meant to be pretty. This car has no branding. It doesn't say Satyr anywhere. It just has the Satyr little plus sign. This is the kind of car that's gonna be like hand built, low volume, a car that you see and you just know That is the Sator Rivara. Anyways, but it's a diesel engine, so it's very special. I did manage to tweak the weight distribution a bit more. It's 47.3 front and 52.7 in the rear, so it's pretty close to 50-50. The car weighs 3,900 pounds, which is quite heavy for a supercar. But I think this thing's targeting more of like the Audi R8, maybe even like Bugatti, kind of in like you know, size. It's a very luxurious car that also has a diesel turbo engine, because why the heck not? You know, it's gonna have one. Handmade interior. This car's all handmade. This car's gonna be a handmade supercar. It costs $150,000 though, so it's a very reasonable handmade supercar. But it's made out of, I think, a partial aluminum instead of full fiberglass now, because more weight actually is better. Like, even if we went to actually full steel, I think it'd be even closer. Slightly closer to 50-50, but we'll go partial aluminum because I want to be under 4,000 pounds. And we went for push rods up front, so there is a bit of things that are tweaked here and there. It's got magnesium wheels. But overall, the Sator Rivara, I think, is going to be a very competitive supercar in BeamNG. So we're going to hop into BeamNG.Drive, and I want to see how the Sator Rivara STD is. So I'll see you guys in BeamNG.Drive in just a sec. Alright guys, so we're in BeamNG.Drive with the Sator Rivara STD, and it looks pretty good in BeamNG. It's not bad. But yeah, the rear disc brakes are definitely lacking in the size department. But you know what? Size doesn't always matter. So 6.7 liter, turbocharged inline-6, all-wheel drive, 6-speed manual, basically the dream supercar. Who wouldn't want this thing? It's a diesel manual. The only thing it's missing is if this thing were a brown wagon as well, which it's not. But you know what? Maybe in the future we'll get one. So we did change the engine sound to the BeamNG bus diesel sound and the bus starter sound. Ah, I like it. That's nice. I'll take it. It revs quite a bit higher than the bus. The bus revs to like, what, 2,000? This thing revs to 4,000. So we're going to do a quarter-mile test and a 0 to 60 test in this thing. Kind of short-shifted it there. That's okay. Yeah, pretty bad 0 to 100 time. I definitely have gotten better. We'll do one more try. But just over a 12-second quarter mile, which is quite good. And one thing I want to point out on the bottom right is the fuel gauge isn't working. I'm not actually sure why it's not working, but that's okay. This should be better. 3.76, a very quick 0 to 60. I mean, it's reasonably quick. It's definitely quicker than the Audi R8 with the V8, which is like 4.5 seconds. At a quarter mile time, under 12 seconds. So that's actually my best quarter mile and best 0 to 60 time ever in this car. 52.47, so or 52, yeah, 47 around there, 53.47. So I don't have too much cars with this great of a weight distribution, so we're going to try it out and see how this thing handles on a track, and yeah, hopefully it does well. So hopefully the game audio is like not too crazy loud, because I haven't actually cranked up for this one because the engine's quite quiet itself. This is still West Coast USA. This is the the original race circuit. This is the basic race circuit. We're gonna do one lap of this, see how we can do in one hot lap. And I think we'll do okay. We might do one other race circuit after this, a very quick one to see, but we'll do this one first and see how it handles. I've actually never driven this car yet. This body is broken, and I had to do some JB editing to make sure the nodes weren't sticking to the ground, which they were, so I changed that. But it should handle quite good. We're going to brake here. Pretty neutral handling so far. We're definitely butchering this turn already, but that's okay. Now, I've got nothing to reference how quick this is in the lap. Ooh, we're good. No, please don't stop the car. We're good. We're good. The car's going to handle fine. What's the damage looking like? Oh, the wheel. Oh, God, the wheel's kicked in. Yeah, that'll buff right out. It handles so terribly now. I love it. Come on. Power through. Power through. Okay, it actually drives quite good. I'm butchering the car's driving experience so much. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like, guys. 2 minutes, 18 seconds. Obviously, we would have got probably like 1.5 minutes, I think, if we didn't do terrible. Not terrible. Like, it drove actually quite good. We'll do one more quick. I think we'll do like one quick short handling focus track. Then we'll hop into the jump arena, see how it jumps. So this is the automation handling circuit, and it's good for cars that are small and light. And we don't have that. We don't have that luxury. This car is quite large, and it's not really light. So it's actually quite heavy. Let's go ahead. We're going to do first person this time, though, because I think we'll do better with that. And again, I've got no practice at all with this thing. This is literally my second drive ever, my second like track test ever with this car, really. The first one was in the previous race, so I might be a little rusty. Okay, so it's neutral. It is heavy. You can definitely feel the weight of this car. The engine just sounds so gosh darn weird. This all-wheel drive is helping to pull the corners. It's helping on the gravel as well, actually, as we sort of cut the corners a little bit. A brake here. Probably should have went to first gear, but that's okay. We're gonna brake. Ooh. It's porky. It's got some mass. It does have some mass. Wow! A 116! A 116? Wait, okay, wait. This must... No. I definitely have better times than that. I've gotta have better times than that. I'm pretty sure I've beaten it with a car that I'll post on the screen now. I think I beat it with this car. Go ahead, go watch that video. I'll leave a link. Go watch that video and see if I beat it, because I feel like I must have beat that car, or beat this car with that. But 116 is a really, really good time still nonetheless, especially for a car that weighs as much as this thing does. Let's hop into the jump arena and finish off with how far this thing jumps. Finally, we are in the jump arena. Man, the back end is just disgusting looking. It's so weird. It's not attractive. I like it's like a bow tie, but it's like a really ugly bow tie. It's not good looking. The front is better. The side looks cool. All right. We're in the jump arena. Let's jump the car here. We're just gonna launch it and see how far it jumps. To 300 kilometers an hour. Actually, less than top speed. We're at 100. We're at 200. Oh, wow. 300, past 300. To 400. 465 or so. Oh, there's the water. We're not hitting that. Okay, we're hitting the water. Okay. I see no problems with this. Look at the brake. It's just dangling. It still turns even. But we'll finish off here. This is the Seda Rivara STD. It was a great car. It handles really good. I'll leave a link to download this car in the description below if you guys want to download it. I want to give a huge shout out to the channel members because they support the channel. They go above and beyond to support the channel. Thanks so much to the Big Boy Turbo Ruben. Thanks to the Quad Turbos, Childerson and DD Man. Thanks to the TwinTurbros and everyone else as well for supporting the channel. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to support the channel, you know, go above and beyond. You guys do get some extra bonus stuff. Not this video, but my next automation build, I'll have an extended time-lapse version, extended version of my build. If you guys want to watch my full uncut builds and how I design my cars, you can become a member and get access to that. And as always, guys, I will see you next time. This thing's just awful. Look at this thing. Look at it. I like this car.